What is going on, guys? I know I've kind of been off the air for a little bit. I have been trying to get a whole bunch of things together. I was prepping for a tournament, which we had yesterday, and I've just got a lot of things going on. But we're back. It's Tuesday. It's Tackle Tuesday, and I got some stuff to show you here. A lot of this stuff is not necessarily new. Some of it's been on the market longer than the rest of it. However, it's new to me, and it's stuff that I wanted to try out. So let's get started. The first one I've got right here is Doomsday Tackle. This is the Doomsday Reaper 3.8 4-inch basically. And it's interesting. It's a color called Muddy Bayou. And so it's a little bit darker. But what it is it's a very small profile. It's got very interesting shape when it comes to the cuts that are on the little flappers. But to me, this is ideal little baby trailer to go inside some of those micro jigs that I throw. Hard to describe the color on it. Again, Muddy Bayou. I would say it is sort of like the red of a red bug, but it's got black and gold flake in it. It's almost translucent in some of the thinner spots in the flapper. But it's a cool looking bait. It looks pretty tough. Doomsday Tackle. You know, I've always wanted to kind of get my hands on their stuff. When I go online to try to order it, it always seems to be sold out. So, picked up those. Those come in a 6-pack, so pretty interesting. All right, next one. I've got the big version, but here's the little version. This is the Jackal Gantrel Jr. It's an amazing swim bait. I think I got like a 5.5, a 6, something like that last year on the big version, but I wanted to go a little bit smaller. So, the one I just got done picking up is called the Ghost Gill. And so it's a very translucent, it looks like a little bluegill. Let me see if I can get this wire tie off of here. Without hooking myself, of course. But this bait has just got this awesome drawing power to it, and it's something that's really, really unique to this particular bait. So there it is. Now you can really see through it. It's that bluegill, got the dot behind the eye, typical, you know, Jackal fashion quality. One of the things that I liked about the big bait, and I really like about this bait, is that the treble hooks are on swivels. Not to mention, your line tie is on a swivel. So what's great about that is when you do hook a fish, it makes it very hard for it to kind of pin it to throw those hooks. It'll just sit there and spin and spin and spin. Of course, it's a 3-segmented body, so it's going to have that really unique kind of S-wavering kind of movement to it, but a little bit smaller, so that might open up the possibilities for, you know, 4s, 5s, but it's still going to have that drawing power on some of those bigger fish. And then the last feature I like about this, I don't know how well you're going to see it, but it's got those little fins, pectoral fins coming off the side. Well, they're sloped down, so when you dig on this and you crank really hard, it's actually going to go down, and then it'll just sit there and pause. Well, the spawn is like any day now. So what's nice about one of these small little bluegill is that if you bring them in right over the top of those beds where the fry are, where the eggs are, the big female mom is not going to like that, and she's going to come in and attack it. So perfect timing for that guy right there. All right, the next one we got, the Damiki Air Craw. So this is pretty interesting. It's a green pumpkin black. You know, I looked at them, I'd never seen them before. Again, unique profile, nice slender profile. But what's really cool about this is that its claws out here are hollow. So they're gonna wanna float up. So it's gonna be kind of postured up, ready to attack. So very unique bait. I think it's something that I can Texas rig really well with, say, a 3-aught, maybe 4-aught. It is a longer bait, but with those, hopefully it's gonna fall upward position like that and kind of slow down that fall, especially when I keep it real lightweight. It doesn't look like there's an opening to these guys, so I don't think there's going to be a bubble trail or anything like that, or any way to get a rattle in there without puncturing a hole, but ought to be very, very unique. So cool looking bait, lots of little feelers on it. Again, it's Damiki, D-A-M-I-K-I, and it is going to be an 8-pack of baits. All right. Next, this guy came out at ICAST last year. I've been wanting to order it, but I wanted to touch it before I ordered it. It is Mega Bass Mega Draft. If you have watched the video, it is incredible what this bait will do. You know, I throw a lot of swim baits around here. that's it right there, guys. So this ought to be pretty cool. It's a 6-inch bait. It's got a single treble hook on a swivel on the bottom, and a lot like the Spark that's out there right now, this is a bigger version of it. And I've got really high hopes for this guy as well. When the shad spawn starts, probably in about a month and a half, water temperature's got to get a little bit higher. Bass will spawn first. They're going to kind of hone in on some of these bait fish patterns, and they're really going to start chasing. So I'm hoping this is going to help. It has a really unique function to it, whereas I don't know how well you can see that little dot inside of it, but what it is it's a magnet. So I will be able to swap out for the hooks that I want, although, yeah, I'll swap out the hooks I want, and it'll hold that treble right up against that body. Yet, when it gets bit, it's now on a swivel, a lot like the Jackal, and it makes it harder for it to throw that. It's a great looking bait. You know, I liked it when I bought the 4-inch Sparks. I just think this one's going to be that much better. It is weighted forward, so it ought to be a nice swimming bait through the water. All right, sticking to the theme bait here, the swim bait theme. This is the Gary Yamamoto Hearttail. And I did pick up some of these and I threw them in the tournament, but what I realized in the tournament was I was rigging them wrong. I had a hard time getting this bait to really dive down, so I would toss it out there. I would let all the salt in the Gary Yamamoto's do its thing and fall down, and then as I slow retrieved it back, it climbed real fast in the water column, so I couldn't get it to do what it's known for. So it does have, just like the name says, the hearttail, and the joke is just because the fish love them so much. On the bottom, it's got a very large cavity for that hook to jump up inside of. And then in this case, I've got the green pumpkin top with the pearl belly. So I bought the watermelon shad. That's what I was throwing. Worked out with the color just because it rained all day yesterday in that tournament. So I was spot on with that color. But once it kind of cleans back up, you know, I'm going to want that lighter colored bait, that dark back. So what I realized is I was throwing a 5/0 extra wide gap owner hook, and it just wasn't working out. It didn't have enough weight. The way this thing's designed, you can see how wide it is that it will flutter as it falls down, a lot like the Cinco will. So I need a hook that will allow it to do that. So what I just got done picking up is the Owner Beast 6/0 hook with a weight on the bottom. So that's going to be your 1/4 ounce, I guess, on the 6/0. And then the other one, which I haven't tried yet, and I've seen a lot of it, is the Freedom Live Action Hybrid Jigs. So what it is it's got the swim bait head, and it's going to be attached to the hook. Now, I don't have a clue what hook this is, but the way it's designed, I can use it with any hook I want. So I will probably go back to those 5/0 hooks I was using yesterday, and I will just attach that head to it. Let's pull these out of here and take a quick look at it. All right. So while I'm struggling with this package, yesterday was our Team Toad Slam fishing tournament. It was our second annual one. So it was 5-man teams. You only get to weigh in 1 fish, and top 5 fish, well, you can actually see, there's my marker still, and only the top, you take your best fish out of the 5. And we came in 4th place. No thanks to me, that's for sure. I had a really rough day. I didn't catch anything that would go on the board. It was pretty tough. It started raining. I want to say I was on the water by 5:30, sitting in my spot, and it started raining about 6:45 and didn't stop. It's still drizzling outside, and that's from yesterday. So I still got to go downstairs, dry out all my gear, and there's a lot of it to dry, and kind of go over that. So here it is. It's got that fish head that's on that swivel. This looks like a shitty hook now that I'm looking at it. So we're going to swap those out for sure, and we're going to go to a better quality hook. But what's going to happen is now that swim bait is going to have that fish head on top of it and still has that extra wide gap that'll jump up into that hook slot. And this ought to be game changer for this right here. And then of course, I've got your standard swim bait hooks, the Beast, just in case I don't like the way that swims. And then the last thing that I picked up, I've already been using this product. I use it for my terminal tackle. I like it a lot, but because I've been doing so well with the square bills and really collecting those up, I went ahead and got one more Bass Mafia 370, and this is the Deep. So what this will allow me to do is to separate all those baits. Look at all those dividers in there. So now I'll really be able to stand up all my baits, because right now I've got 3 to 4 per slot on this tackle box, and the hooks are just getting tangled. If you've got crankbaits, you know you pull one out, all the other ones come with it. This way they'll all get their other home. And another reason that's important is because I use a lot of the Livingston lures, and you start throwing all these Livingston lures together and the hooks are touching, I can hear them in there chirping right now because of the way they're sitting in that box. I can hear that EBS technology going off. So the last thing I want is to need that chirping sound and have the batteries die while they're sitting in my tackle box. That would be terrible, right? So we're gonna go ahead and set those up. I'm not gonna bother labeling every single little compartment because I just don't think that's necessary on these. I know what they're gonna do by looking at them. But again, Bass Mafia, quality stuff. All right, guys, well, I'm going to leave it there. If you got any questions, please comment below. If you like the video, you like the tackle I'm picking out to show y'all, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and maybe share this video with one of your friends. Get them involved with the sport of fishing. Introduce them to my channel. If there's anything you'd like to see coming up in the future, please comment below, and we'll be sure to make that happen. And as always, thanks for watching.